weeks ago, in the EMDT Game Strategy and Motivation WIMBA session, I was asked to come up with a way of incorporating a scavenger hunt game to teach a concept to my students. Without any prep, I immediately thought of a way to help teach my chemistry students about atomic elements by having them do an elemental scavenger hunt. The basic idea of this game is to divide my students up into teams of 2 to 3 individuals and give them 1 week to find and collect common, safe, non-toxic items containing as many of the 114 elements on the periodic table as they can find. For example, a group could collect a sample of distilled water, which is H2O. This sample would therefore count as finding both hydrogen and oxygen. After 1 week, the groups will bring in their treasures from the scavenger hunt and explain what they have discovered. The group that earns the most points in the scavenger hunt receives extra credit on the unit test about chemical elements. I would give 5% extra to the first place group, 4% to the second place group, and 3% extra to the third place group. To play this game, students will be given a list of the most common elements found in nature to search for. They may also find objects containing less common elements as well, which will add bonus points to the team's score. To be successful in their hunt, students will need to do some research on the internet outside of class. For each of the common elements, whether found or not, students will have to look up the atomic symbol of that element, and I will also provide them with a worksheet that they will complete for extra points in the scavenger hunt as well. Here's an example of the questions I would ask on that worksheet. To help students in their quest, I would provide them with several interesting periodic tables that could help out their search. Here are a couple of visual periodic tables I would provide. The 3D periodic table is actually a hologram that I have hanging in front of my class. It's my favorite. I would also refer students to several web resources to help them with their search. This is my favorite site, www.webelements.com, and I like this site because it allows students to look up historical information about their elements, see pictures of the elements, and learn about common uses of elements as well. So how would this elemental scavenger hunt enhance the learning experience in my classroom? As a chemistry teacher for the past 17 years, I have often noticed that there is a disconnection between learning about chemical elements and understanding how chemical elements are important to our lives. I'm often surprised to find that many students do not realize that they are actually made out of elements and molecules. Furthermore, learning about the names and symbols of chemical elements alone does not provide students with a meaningful learning experience. The elemental scavenger hunt is a great way to show students how their knowledge of chemistry relates to the world they actually live in. From a theoretical perspective, the elemental scavenger hunt would help students learn about elements by providing an active learning experience that would engage students, motivate them to achieve success, enhance retention by involving many types of learning modalities, as well as several types of intelligences, and provide students with a fun and challenging means to learn about chemical elements. So many chemistry teachers simply have students memorize the names and symbols of the chemical elements without any context to provide a meaningful experience. What good is there in learning that the chemical symbol for tungsten is a W, if you don't even know what the hell tungsten is or is used for anyways? So to answer the prompts for this assignment, the elemental scavenger hunt is immersive because it involves research, active participation, group collaboration, presentation skills, and learning about elements in a pragmatic fashion. It is challenging because groups compete against each other, and most elements are difficult to find without extensive research, especially when one is looking for the less common elements. The positive and thought-provoking message this game provides is that there is a direct connection to chemistry and one's existence here on Earth. Students would overcome the challenges of finding these elements by working together in small teams and conducting efficient research on the internet. The tools students would use would be the periodic tables and websites I give them in advance, and any other web resources or non-web resources they can find. They will also use their own bodies kinesthetically by searching for and collecting items to present in class. Students would take away a greater understanding of what chemical elements are, how they relate to our lives, and how they are used in our modern world. The competitive aspect of this game will make it fun and compelling. Also, discovering items in a scavenger hunt is always entertaining, especially if one group is able to find elements or items containing those elements that no one else has found. This type of game is not to be played again and again. However, in the week students have to complete the scavenger hunt, I am sure that they would want to return to their search as often as possible to continue their hunt for atomic elements in our world. So there you have it, the Elemental Scavenger Hunt game by Steve Lux.